Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween Eve. Oh, boy, this is one of my favorite days. Did you have Cabbage Day growing up? When we were kids, back in my day, we would just put shaving cream in our hair and throw it at a bunch of people. Oh, that was fun. Ever go to a CVS and get declined buying shaving cream because you're 10? Oh, the 90s. They were fun. All right, Michelle Young reveals her new boyfriend. Is this worth a video? We're going to try to make it worth it. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I'll be live right after this on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal, where I will give you an update on all my courtroom saga. That's right, Law and Order style. Here we are, folks. But in the meantime, don't forget every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. We've got that for you. Hey, I've considered this. Hold on, folks. We'll get to this Michelle stuff in a second, but I'd like to source a poll for you guys. And I don't plan on doing this anytime soon. I just don't have the setup. If I produced a 20 to 25 minute morning show to go along with my afternoon rush hour, maybe we call it the Bachelor Rush Hour Morning Edition, would you guys watch and or listen? My goal is obviously to continue making YouTube videos, but there just seems to be so much more content out there outside of Bachelor Nation, whether it be other pop culture news or speckle in some good news, maybe something to motivate you for your work day. Would you guys be interested in a coffee with Dave, maybe a cup of coffee? Either way, we'll talk more about that, but leave a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts. All right, let's jump into it. Our third and possibly final video of the day. I guess this doesn't count as breaking news, but we didn't want to cover it over the weekend because I was busy living life. But we'll give it the breaking news audio right here. Breaking news, Michelle Young reveals new boyfriend. That's right, she likes him hot, I'll tell you that much. I've never seen so many people online give the approval based on looks alone, which, by the way, looks only get you so far. But according to this photo, that's pretty far. So let's get into it. Here's the Instagram post. Hit the jackpot with you. I said breaking news. Pilot Rachel Recchia said hard launch. Even Tasha commented and said, yes, we love to see her happy and thriving. Charity said, yes, ma'am. So happy for you. Caitlin Bristow with the heart eyes, and at one after another. Everyone's been rooting Michelle on as she's had a relatively rough time since her job as the Bachelorette. It's been a while now, but there she is. It didn't work out with Nate, but she found a new man who's got great style. Maybe linen pants. I can't really tell what's going on here. Maybe linen pants with drawstrings. I've always said never trust a man with drawstring pants, even though I'm known to wear one or two when I'm on vacation. But either way, he's got a nice, what appears to be half-chest tattoo. I thought of Adrian Grenier, so did my wife when we saw him. I don't know if that's just the black curly hair. But either way, a good-looking man there. And the hand placement in the hard launch. He's hard launching his hand on her ass. That is a hard glute launch right there. But hey, when you're young and fun, everything is coming up. Roses here for them. Wasn't always this way, though, but there, I guess his name is Jack. There he is. I think he's wearing the same pants here, unless he's got multiple pants in this style. Maybe, who knows. But let's go through the recent history of Michelle. So 22 days ago, she soft launched this photo. And this is a man, I'm assuming the same guy, kissing her on the jaw neckline there. And that's what we call a soft launch. That is the precursor to the hard launch. Not every soft launch becomes a hard launch. This is kind of her way of saying, all right, internet, if there's any weird shit going on about this guy, let me know. This dude in the background found out that he's soft focus in the soft launch. But there they are doing Minnesota things. Well, it wasn't all peachy for Michelle. She dated Nate, who, by the way, will be on this month's episode of Driving with Dave. He is scheduled after Caitlin Bristow. That's right. We're going from Rodney Matthews to Clayton Echard to Caitlin Bristow to Nate. And I got to tell you this. I think we're really onto something. I think we're really taking over the world one Tesla ride at a time. But either way, if there's anybody in the Nashville area you'd like to see on Driving with Dave, hit them up. I'll be there next week. Hannah Brown, are you in the house? Let's see if we can get her in my compact rental car. That's right. I don't splurge for the SUV. We go compact, baby. $42 a day like you read about. So anyway, Nate's here taking a photo. This was a few months ago with what appeared to be Michelle's friends. Her response, of course, at the time was, I'd imagine this is what unbothered looks like. That was her response to maybe some of her friends crossing the zone of girl code, I guess you would call it. But either way, here's what she had to say regarding the transition she's had going from teacher to, I guess, influencer. And, we're happy to see that she's doing well now. I don't know if she's moving back to Minnesota. I don't know if she bought a home with the engagement funds that she received. But either way, here's what she had to say.
The past few days have been insanely hard, to say the least. I picked up and moved to LA. I've been on the road so much that I haven't been able to get settled here. And there's just so much going on at the same time where, my heart wants to be in the classroom, but mentally it's just I know that I'm still recharging. Kind of finding your footing with a new profession and also in a new area has been a lot.
So she's obviously talked a lot about the struggles to go from being in the classroom as a teacher to really the influencer world, whether it's teacher, influencer, the world of freelance, right? Now, I've lived in the world of freelance for a long time. I have to tell you, for anybody who struggles with ADHD or any form of neurodiversity, or really anyone that's had a W-2 job and then is forced on your own, it is a wild world out there. I know people are nodding their heads as I say this. We saw Brandon from Brandon and Serene talked about the struggle he had to become an influencer. I think part of the problem is that producers have traditionally, and casting directors on The Bachelor, have overpromised a world to a lot of the contestants. Oh, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. On my latest episode of Driving with Dave with Clayton Eckert, which you can go catch out on the Dave Neal Show. That's right. My conversation with Clayton Eckert is right now. We were just crushing it over there. Clayton talked about this promise that they all received. They had a promise. Hey, this is what's going to happen. Your life's about to blow up. Now, that may have been true 3 years ago, but times have changed. We saw Rodney on Driving with Dave talk about the fact that the money's been a little light in the influencer world. So that's a tough challenge. And then if you're someone like Michelle, who is used to receiving a standard paycheck, you show up to the classroom, you do X, Y, and Z, becoming an influencer rips away that norm. It rips away the structure. And you're forced to get yourself out of bed and figure out how to make it happen. Now, as much of a struggle as that is, I think those that stick with it learn more about themselves. They become more independent and less tied to an employer, and you have more opportunities for revenue streams, whether it be podcasting, this or that. But obviously, Michelle had a hard go. It didn't really work out for her as a Bachelor Nation host of a podcast, but it doesn't mean she isn't, going to find her niche. It just means, there's only so many weeks in the year where you pursue different things and try new things. She's started a Patreon. We don't know what's going to go on with that. I give her a lot of grace. I think a lot of the Bachelor audience don't give her grace because I think a lot of Bachelor audience just expect you to take the ball and run with it. But it's a very challenging thing, learning how to kind of get out there and do your own thing. So here Michelle was recently posting about having bad taste in men.
Why am I single?
So it's a TikTok called Why Am I Single? And then it'll tell you the answer.
Right here with the white lights.
It says you have bad taste. So that, refers to maybe Nate. But does she have bad taste or does she have great taste? I mean, if you look at me, this is a very good taste. I mean, as far as the physical looks go, that's all we can judge on. He's got what appears to be some sort of transparent shirt that you would wear to Coachella, but he looks great there with the filter. So either way, we're going to have to see how that all plays out. All right, let's switch gears to another side story, something that just doesn't deserve our full attention in its own video. Stephanie posted this from She's All Batch podcast. It's actually an expose on the Bachelor edits. Don't believe everything you see. So it is a defense over Kat. So what we see here on the top left is Davia, as she makes her entrance on Bachelor in Paradise. They cut to Kat on the top right here with her hair in some sort of quasi pigtail doing that face your eyes make when you're fed up or having an orgasm. It's one or the other. And then down here, it cuts to Kat with her hair pulled back. So what we can quickly see here is that they edited it to look like Kat was rolling her eyes back when Davia arrived, when really Kat was excited to see her friend. Does this forgive Kat for the other things she's done on the show? Not really, but it just shows you how complicated things can be. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this third and final video today. If you want to check out the Patreon, I'll be live right after this at patreon.com/Dave Neal, and every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. Don't forget, Driving with Dave has Clayton out, and go run, don't walk over to that channel and check that out. You can click right here to go watch that.